How's it digging, my shovels? This is Spade here, bringing you guys another Pokemon Black and White 2 Wi-Fi battle, and this is a UU match against someone by the name of Jay, the name of Fame. And in this match, I basically wanted to try out the new Victini that technically comes out tomorrow, although I think it's already out because in Japan and time zones, so it's already tomorrow in Japan, so I'm pretty sure it's like already released. So there's that. But new Victini in Japan now has Bolt Strike, Blue Flare, Recreate, and Glaciate. You can use all those moves in the same set, although you may just want to use them in special and physical sets respectively, specific moves. But basically, Victini is now a tad bit better with those new moves that are more powerful than the original options that it had before. And I had this match like about a week ago, so I did ask all my opponents if it was okay for me to use the new special Victini that's coming out, and nobody minded because, to be honest, it isn't even that big of a deal. But anyways, let's get right into this match. I decided to lead with my Drifloon, mostly just predicting my opponent to lead with the Mienshao or the Swampert, and because I'm a Scarf, I could just burn them both or trick the Swampert, but he leads with the Sharpedo. Goes for the protects, and even if he has the item of nature, I know he's gonna be faster, so I don't want to take a crunch, and I do have the Virizion here, pretty much the perfect counter for this Sharpedo this early on in the game, because I can obviously take the crunch, get the justified boost, and then just basically go from there. He's just gonna scout me what I'm going to do, what kind of set I'm possibly running, and I do reveal that I have the Giga Drain. And here I was thinking he may just want to go into his Arcanine to take that and maybe do some sort of switching instead of just sacking his Sharpedo this early on in the game. So I decided to switch my moves into close combat because I know, I can obviously take him out with the close combat. And if he decides to switch into something else, I could do a lot of damage at the very least to that. But he does just decide to stay in here, so I was like, damn, I should have listened to the voice of the grass and gone for the Giga Drain, but I didn't. And now I'm left really low on HP, and he's going to be able to go into his Mienshao. I know Fake Out is most likely coming, but he actually goes straight for the U-turn. And the fact that we do not see Life Orb Recoil means that he is most likely Choice Scarfed, and, Choice Scarf Mienshao is definitely a good option. But now at least I have the information as I go into my Drifblim, the balloon, and he goes into his Swampert. He was trying to bait the Will-O-Wisp, but I was like, I might as well trick the Swampert with the Choice Scarf and cripple it. But he goes into his Arcanine to take the Scarf, which is just fine. Or he went into it to take the Will-O-Wisp, but now I trick him instead, which is just fine, because here I'm predicting the obvious Wild Charge, which he does go for, so I go into my Claydol to take it, and then I get a free opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks. But he's gonna go in his Swampert, and here I decided to go in my Virizion, just kind of as a pivot switch. If I can do something with it, then fine, but I'm just as fine with sacking my Virizion at this point. And it was kind of obvious that he's most likely running like some sort of tank Swampert, which is pretty common, but I was like, just in case he goes for the Stealth Rocks or something weird like Scald, I could potentially take that with Virizion and try to Giga Drain, but it doesn't happen, so it's just fine. I can now go into my Meloetta, which is in fact Choice Specs, so this Psyshock is going to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately does not take out the incoming Shaman, and I don't want to take a Seed Flare, so I'm just going to go into my Drifloon, but he actually does make some sort of prediction. I don't know what he was predicting, but he does go for the Air Slash, I guess, Drifloon, but it doesn't actually even to it KO. There was, I guess, a bit of min-max damage, but I do still end up living, which is great, so I still get to keep my Drifloon. And now he's gonna go into his Mienshao again, just to try to take me out with the U-turn, and in fact, earlier, the U-turn did exactly 39 HP. So I didn't want to stay in and risk losing my Drifloon, because I can still use it, especially since he doesn't have Stealth Rocks up. So, because, I can go for Will-O-Wisp or maybe even Destiny Bond something, which would be great. But, yeah, gonna go into my own Mienshao, because obviously I have the Regenerator as well, so I don't need to worry about him just chipping away my HP. And, he actually goes into his Arcanine, so I'm like, okay, let's just Fake Out, but then he goes into his Hitmontop. After that, not really sure why, because he only ends up, losing his Arcanine's precious health. And I can just U-turn out here, Fake Out U-turn, and go into my Drifloon. I don't want him to spin away the hazards. the Stealth Rock, so I'm just gonna go back into my Driflim to try and spin block, but he actually does make the good play, and he goes for the Toxic because he knows that my Driflim is most likely coming in. At this point, I wasn't really sure what kind of set he was running, so I was like, my main priority is just to try to spin block, and that is what I do end up doing. And here I decided to go for the Will-O-Wisp because I was like, if he goes into his Arcanine, I don't really mind because he's just gonna end up losing 25% of his health again. And then it's gonna be more easier for me to revenge kill, and I don't really mind that. And obviously that would be good for the Hitmontop, but he does end up getting the Flash Fire, which is just fine. He's gonna go for the Wild Charge, and in comes my Victini, and he's like, that's not an electric type move. This is Bolt Strike! And down goes the Arcanine. And yes, this is indeed one of the new moves that Victini does now have access to, which is great, definitely for the Choice Banded set. So watch out, bulky waters like Slowbro. Victini is now a tad bit better. But now he's gonna be able to go into his Scarf Mienshao, and I was fearing the Stone Edge, so I'm gonna go into my own Mienshao. In either case, he does go for the U-turn, but I can still take that. He's just gonna get the Switch Initiative, and he's gonna be able to go into his Hitmontop. No real point for me to fake out here because it's basically only a waste of time because, you know, it doesn't really do anything, so I'm just gonna straight U-turn out. I think it does even less that he recovers from the leftovers. So yeah, but, you know, damage is damage, I guess. And I have the regenerator, so I don't really mind. But anyways, just gonna go into my melee attack because I know I can still take pretty much anything from him. He does go for the Toxic again, which is just fine because I'm still at close to full health, so I know I can even take a Sucker Punch because this is obviously a defensive Hitmontop, so it doesn't even do half, and I can just go for the Choice Specs Side Shock again, and he basically has nothing to take it, so he's just gonna be forced to sack his Hitmontop because he doesn't want to lose anything else. But now he's going to be able to go into that Mienshao again and go for the U-turn. I don't want to lose my Mellow Attack quite yet because I can get at least one more heavy hit off whenever he decides to bring out his Swampert, so I do want to save it, and Mienshao can obviously take on another Mienshao's U-turn again. It's kind of funny that I've been basically walling his Mienshao, or, you know, making him lose kind of his momentum of getting a lot of damage to me, chipping away my health by going into my own Mienshao, which has obviously the regenerator, so it's like he hasn't been doing any damage, although he's just kind of being annoying. That is what Mienshao does. But in comes the Swampert, and we do learn that he's most likely Choice Banded as I go for the Fake Out U-turn. We do not see leftovers, so I have to sack something. Unfortunately, it is going to have to be my Victini, because I cannot take him out with my Victini, and because I don't have any good moves against Swampert on this set, and also, you know, the Mienshao is going to be able to outspeed me, so I thought I have to sack my Victini. This way I can go into my Mellow Attack, easily revenge kill him with the Specs Psyshock, take him out, and now he's going to be able to go into his last poke, which is the Mienshao, and now he has to make a decision what move is he going to lock himself into. If he goes for the high jump kick, I can go into my Claydol. If he goes for the U-turn, then I can go into my own Mienshao safely and go for the fake out, and basically just, I think I end up U-turning out here because he is Choice Scarf, so my U-turn will obviously go last, meaning that my Mienshao will be the one taking the hits, and then I can go into my Claydol, which is at full health, and that way I can, you know, take one hit from him, and barring if it's not a crit, and then just proceed to take him out with the Earthquake, and that is in fact what happens. He doesn't even do half with the U-turn, so I get to go for the EQ, and Claydol actually claims a kill, so that's pretty awesome. Good job, Claydol, you actually did something besides setting up hazards and spinning like you usually do. So that will be the game. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to really use Victini. I'm planning to use it more because Victini is just so cool with the new moves, and I want to try them out more. Unfortunately, didn't really get a chance with the few matches that I had so far, but the day will come someday. But at least I got a chance to bolt strike something, so that was awesome. definitely a good move for the choice band sets, and you know, the special sets now have blue flare, which is slightly better than the fire blast. And with Victini's Victory Star, they're a bit more accurate too, so that's pretty cool too. But anyways, I guess that's the question of the day. What are your thoughts on the new Victini that is now basically a tad bit better? Do you think it's a lot better, or do you think it's a tad bit better? So that is the question of the day, and that will be all for today. Also leave your comments. What kind of sets do you think would be cool to try out? Do you think Glaciate will get any use? It's basically just weaker version of well, HPIs, but it does have the speed drop thing that always happens, so that's kind of the main selling point of it, but it's like 5 base points lower than the hidden power eyes. But you do see some Kirums with Glaciate, because it's kind of cool that you get to lower the speed and then just go from there. So it may see some gimmicky use, but just leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'm gonna stop rambling. And I thank you for watching once again, and until next time, this is TheFlamingSpade signing out. Peace.